So, welcome back. Let's continue our discussions on graphs. In today's video, we are going to talk about some shortest path algorithms, and basically, we'll talk about spanning trees, and then for Premchand-Kruskal's algorithm, we'll see in the next video. And today, we'll talk about minimum spanning tree. And in case of shortest path algorithms, we have like spanning trees, and then we have Dijkstra's algorithm, then we have Warshall's algorithm. While these two, which is like MST, your minimum spanning tree, and your Dijkstra algorithm uses adjacency list. This particular Warshall's algorithm uses your adjacency matrix for finding the shortest path, and that's what our main aim is. Our main aim is to find the shortest path. So let's look into what basically the spanning tree is, and what basically the minimum spanning tree is. So in case of spanning tree, this is a tree of connected undirected graph, and what we get is a subgraph basically, which will be connecting all your vertices together. We'll see with the help of example. So particular graph G can have several different spanning trees. Means for undirected and undirected graph, I can have multiple spanning trees. The next we have is minimum spanning tree. So minimum means you might have got some idea that this time there will be some weights assigned to these edges, and we should once again have a subgraph where the total weight should be minimum. That's what the aim of minimum spanning tree is. So let's see this with the help of an example. This is something which is an unweighted graph. Let's see, this is an unweighted graph G, and we have to come up with the spanning trees, right? And in our previous definition, we said that we can have several spanning trees. So what we can do is, one of the possibility of a spanning tree can be, let's say I have this A, I have this B, I have this C, I have this D. So this is also one of the spanning tree. I have all the vertices, and these vertices are connected. I can have something like this as well. I have A here, I have B here, I have C here, I have D here. So I can have something like this, I can have something like this, I can have something like this. Once again, looking back to the definition, it's a subgraph which is connecting all the vertices together. So A, B, C, D connected together. I can have something like this as well. I have A, B, C and D, and then I can come up with this kind of graph as well. So this is also a spanning tree. Once again, I can have this particular thing. So what I can do is I can have this, I can have this, I can have this. This is also true for a spanning tree. Further, I can have, let's say, this, and this. Again, I can connect like this. Then I can come up with another scheme where I have, let's say, B, C, D. So I have this, I have this, I have this. This is also fine. Then I can have another setup, A, B, then your C and your D, and I can have something like this. Furthermore, I can add to this, I can come up with, let's say, something like this. Sorry, this is not required, this, and so on and so forth. So these are all of these are your unweighted graphs and their spanning tree. So one setup is this, another one is this, another one is this, another one is this, another one is this, and maybe 6, 7, 8, and we can have some more. Now this was all about spanning trees. Now let's add some weights to it. So let's say I have 4, maybe I have 5, I have 6, and maybe I can have 1, 2, and 3. In that case, if suppose I'm going to come up with a setup where I have A, B, C, and D, and I start with, let's say, this, and this. So my cost would be 4, 5, 6. So the total cost comes out to be 15. 6 plus 4 plus 5. Another option can be with the same set of nodes but different set of edges. I can have, let's say, this, and this. So what I see is I have 1 on this side, weight is 1, 5 on this side, 4 on this side. So I have 1 plus 4 plus 5, so 10. Another setup can be your, if suppose I have A, B, C, and D, and I can have this, and this. So my weights are 1, 2, and 3. So total weight comes out to be 3 to 6 and 7. Another setup can be, let's say, A, B, C, and D, and I have something like this. So the weights are 4, and then I have 3, I have 5. So the total weight comes out to be 4 plus 3 plus 5, which is 12. Another setup can be your A, B, C, D, and I have, let's say, this. Then the weights I see are 4 and 2 and 6. So the net weight comes out to be 12. 6 plus 4 plus 2. And then we can have several options as well. So looking at the weights which I am getting are, I am getting 15, I am getting 10, then I am getting 7, then I am getting 12 once again. So what I see is that this is something which is the lowest one, and this comes out to be your minimum spanning tree, which has the lowest cost associated with it. So this is about minimum spanning tree, where what we see is, we see a weighted graph. I see a weighted graph. In the previous example, there were no such weights. And this is your MST, which is your minimum spanning tree. So you might have got some idea about this spanning tree and this minimum spanning tree. Now let's see some applications of it. So minimum spanning tree has a wide usage, right from connecting the terminals to the cities, to the electronic components, to the finding the shortest airline routes, or for finding the routing algorithms, or for designing the networks, and so on and so forth. So these usages are not limited to these many, but there are huge amount of usages of minimum spanning tree. Now in our further discussion, we'll talk about Prim's algorithm. Right. So we have two techniques to come up with a minimum spanning tree. One is your Prim's algorithm. Another one is your Kruskal's algorithm. So let's talk about Prim's algorithm. So now we'll see this Prim's algorithm. Let's take this particular example, and this is a weighted graph. These are the weights associated with the edges. Now our aim is to find the minimum spanning tree. See, spanning trees will be several for this particular graph, but minimum spanning tree will be one, until and unless, let's say, there are repetitions, that means weights are equal, then you can have more than one, or else it will always be one. Now for this particular graph, in order to find the Prim's algorithm, the minimum spanning tree using Prim's algorithm, our first step is to remove all the loops, self loops. So what we see is, in this case, this is your self loop. So I need to remove this particular thing from here. Another thing is remove parallel edges. Now how to remove the parallel edges? For that I need to identify. I can see that, okay, here we have the parallel edges. But since we see that on one side I have a weight 10, on other side I have a weight 8, and we are coming up with a minimum spanning tree with minimum cost, so definitely I will not consider 10, I will consider 8. So I will remove this particular parallel edge. Now we are left with this, and now we are going to identify the minimum spanning tree. So what we can do is, we can start with any particular node. So here I am randomly selecting a start node. So let's say I have selected A. So I am choosing it to be this. Now the next step is, let me draw it a bit up so I'll have some space. Now the next step is, from A I can see I have two weights, 8 and 4. So what I am going to do is, I will definitely choose this edge with 4 weight because it is smaller. So what I am going to do is, I am going to come up with this where the weight is 4. Now, so this particular thing is included. I am left with now 8, 6 and 14. See, I know that 8 and 4 were already compared, but still we have to keep a track of this as well. That means in this particular situation I am comparing 8, 6 and 14. So the option is, because if suppose this would have been, let's say 2, I, instead of selecting 6, because 6 and 14, I would have selected 2 directly, right? So right now what we are going to do is, we are going to use 6 because that's the only option, that's the only minimum option. So I'm moving to B with the help of this weight 6. Now what I have is, I have this E and C, I'm left with this. Now then for this case, of course I'm going to go ahead with E part and 12 because this does not make any sense for me now. I am only left with the previous one and these are the only options. Now the next one will be obviously this one with 16. So that's the only possible minimum spanning tree. So the total weight comes out to be 4 plus 6 plus 12 plus 16. So what we have is 10, 20, 22, 28, 38. So this is what we have received with the help of Prim's algorithm. So now we have looked into this Prim's algorithm. Let's move to another algorithm, which is Kruskal's. This Kruskal's algorithm is once again a greedy algorithm. Where the idea once again is to find the minimum spanning tree. So here once again I am going to remove the self loops, just like in case of your Prim's algorithm. So what I see is that over here I need to remove this, so I've removed it. I need to remove one of the parallel edges. So here what we see is 8 and 10. Once again I see benefit with 8, and let me remove this. So I'll once again remove this particular thing. Now I'm left with this, and since it's a greedy approach, what I'm going to do is, I am going to arrange the edges in an increasing order of their weights. So to start with, what we have is, I see AD, which is having a weight of 4, then this is done. Then I see DB, which is having a weight of 6. I see AB, which is having a weight of 8. I see BE, which is having a weight of 12. I see DE, which is having a weight of 14. I see BC, which is having a weight of 16. So what I've done is, I've arranged in an increasing order, and let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I have made a mistake. AD is there, DB is there, AB is there, BE is there. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 6 only. So we are correct. We are good. Now this particular thing can be implemented using a priority queue. That means I'll be maintaining a priority queue for keeping these weights. Now we'll start with the minimum possible and we will come up with our H. So I have AD, the smallest one with 4. Next is I have DB. So I have included this. Let me add DB as well. So I have included this. Now next is your AB, but I cannot add AB because it is forming a closed cycle. So I cannot add this. Next is BE. Yes, I can go ahead with BE. And this weight is 12. So I'm good with this. DE. Now DE I cannot add once again because it is forming a loop here. See, closed circle. So now I'm left with BC. So this is what I'm getting as BC. So this once again comprises of your 4 plus 6 plus 12 plus 16, which is equals to once again 6 plus 4, 10, 22, 38. So this is the total cost associated with this minimum spanning tree, and once again, as I said, for this I'll get multiple spanning trees but single minimum spanning tree. So this was all about finding minimum spanning trees. In my next video, we'll talk about Dijkstra's algorithm and Warshall's algorithms.